Circle in downtown Indianapolis. We are at the beautiful... EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Hoosier State and Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis. It's all about divisional matchups on this final day of the regular season, and we've got a compelling one in store here, as it'll be the Denver Broncos taking on the Indianapolis Colts. From his end zone, Marvin Mims. Oh, good return up past the 30. Still going. One man to beat. And he will score. Touchdown, Broncos. So how about that? You want to talk about coming into a hostile environment and just silencing the crowd. They just did it.
Couldn't be a better start. There's no way. All week long, they've talked about having this type of a start, but I think they looked at it from the offensive team's perspective. You know, get the opening kickoff. You guys control the ball. A lot of people are now going to say, okay, now your offense, will they be out of whack? No, not at all. They're going to be absolutely happy. They're relaxed. They took care of business for them. They don't have any pressure now. They can just go play.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15.
The Colts take over first and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
Ready. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. This defense for the Broncos, they were very good in the win last week against Jacksonville.
And what I saw on film was a nearly unstoppable pass rush. 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries given up. So now what do you do on offense? You just max protect, keep everyone in and run the ball? Or maybe just 1 or 2 receiver routes in order to try and keep your quarterback upright?
Now 2nd and 9.
Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Here's Richardson to throw. They'll set up the screen to Taylor. That's some strong running, and they'll get him down here at the 23. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
An early test, 2 plays in. This is 3rd and 2.
Go, Reed, go.
They'll try and run for the first with Taylor. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. And the Colts at 12-4 now on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one for Indianapolis, resulting in 15 yards and a fresh set of downs. After he cleared the line of scrimmage, nice little hole developed.
Yeah, great blocking right there at the start. But how about his vision, finding the open spaces and letting his feet carry him to him?
And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down. We got to like what you're seeing from this offense here on the first drive. A nice, sustained series to begin the game that will continue after picking up another first there.
Would you say the word methodical comes to mind? I love the execution. I love what they're doing on this drive. They're controlling the ball, controlling the game, controlling the clock.
Oh, what a juke into space. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 25 yards there on the catch and run.
And I feel a little bit like a traitor as a former defender, because that big man did not want to go down and refused to go down. If you're a defender and you don't get the right angle on a big tight end like him, he can run right through you like you're not even there, and he did a lot of that on that play.
And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Jonathan Taylor with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Colts march right down the field on the opening drive to take a first-quarter lead. Well, first quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
An extra point by Gay is up and good, and we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. Wilson and the Broncos now with a 1st and 10 at their own 15. And right away, he lost gets the football, and the Colts pick it up. And good field position coming up here. The football at the 12-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Some teams like to start aggressive to begin a drive, but this is still what you expect to see in normal situations. Just call a simple run, get a few yards to begin the series, and set yourself up for something bigger.
Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. And the Broncos are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points were given away and could cost them a ball game?
They begin the drive with Williams. And he'll be out of bounds right at about the 10-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
They did a really nice job there defensively. They strung the play out, didn't give him a cutback lane. On each play, you have guys what I call our BCR players. Guys are responsible for the bootleg, for the cutback, and for the reverse. They played that one perfectly.
And rode him right out of bounds. Here's 2nd and 7. In motion goes the tight end. Now Wilson on 2nd down. Short throw caught by Dosich. And he gets up near the 25 to about the 24 before going out of bounds. Give him 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. To throw is Wilson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. So, Charles, this defense, they definitely know that they've got their hands full here going up against a group that has won 7 straight. What's the key for them in this ball game?
Well, we asked their defensive coordinator that very question, and the response was, we have the mindset that they actually have to react to us, not the other way around. So it sounds to me like the plan is to do the attacking and not wait to see what they present to them.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete.
Now that's a good bounce back after giving up a touchdown on the opening drive. Just 1 first down permitted and then out. Obviously no loss of confidence with that defense, and now they get to turn it back to their offense.
The Broncos send out their punter now. Jamal Agnew is deep to return it. On the return, here's Agnew. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Colts are set up well as they take over 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. First and 10, Taylor now. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. But you look at this Bronco defense. They enter this one down to the 26th position in the NFL against the run.
Stopping the run, That's been an issue for them all season long. Aren't you glad that you're not coaching the defense right now?
I'm very glad. They said that they've seen it in doses, but very, very small doses.
Yeah, you've got to be consistent. It's down in and down out. Being able to play it, understand what you have to get done.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's a 2nd and 9.
Cowboy 80. Go.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. Takes this to the 45. Not much space there after the nice move. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down.
19 tight. 19 tight. 19 Lions.
Richardson working from the gun. He's going to sling this deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
So on trots the field goal unit, and wow, this is going to be a challenge here. This will approach NFL record territory. It's a 62-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this game will remain tied here in quarter number 2. That would have been from way downtown. Pretty big roll of the dice, and he comes up a bit short.
Yeah, you knew when you saw the holder setting up on the other side of the 50 that this was going to be a long shot. But to me, there's really no loss here because you've shown confidence in it. Kicking it from a long distance, that'll pay dividends. And the miss, you can shake that one off. It wasn't likely to make it in the first place.
In any event, it happened pretty quickly. I'm not sure he made the right decision on that one. I think if he had it to do over again, he would have found a different target downfield. But he made his decision, and that one's incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10. They go play action with Wilson. He's got a man. It's his fullback. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco 1st down.
It was pretty easy to overlook the fullback when you're making your assignments defensively in the pass coverage game. But in this case, they made him pay for that oversight and picks up a nice gain.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Now Wilson. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. This throw incomplete, nearly picked off. And with his pedigree, he doesn't drop many of those. But 3rd down coming up. Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Wilson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 24-yard line. Wilson will throw again. And that'll be incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
Second and 10. They give it to Williams, running right. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Here's Wilson. That's into the hands of McLaughlin. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A new set of downs after a strong pickup of 16 yards.
And this pass rush has really been bringing the heat and has already gotten home a few times here in the first half. So how about the play call there? Sometimes if you can't protect, you've got to fool them. Screen passes like that can take a little steam out of what's been a relentless rush so far.
So not quite a 1st and goal. It's 1st and 10 from the 10. Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Well, this has been a good march down the field, but now they're stuck looking at a 2nd and 14. They run it again with Williams. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. 8 yards on the run, and that cuts us down to a 3rd and about 5.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
Now it's Wilson. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
Well, partner, given where that drive started, that's an excellent job defensively to force them into 4th down.
Cade York on now for the field goal. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. York able to send this one through. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
Got it. Ready?
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You don't always feel like you want to get in the end zone, but then, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go for the goalpost. So
it does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to a stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Ball on the 27. Here's a 2nd and 5. Back to throw. Here's Richardson. And his throw here's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Off play action. Richardson. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is his horoscope off? His biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? And a hard-earned yard there as he ran through one would-be tackler. It's 2nd down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Able to get in there yet again. That's already 3 sacks for him here in this first half of football. Here is 3rd and 5. Wilson. Toward the pylon, caught. Touchdown. Greg Dulcich, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Extra point by York is up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1.
Ready, set.
And just 25 seconds to go in the half now as they've got it 1st and 10.
Ready.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. They'll wind up getting just a yard out of it, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go, here we go.
And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout.
Ready up. Warrior 70.
A final shot before the half. Richardson. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. Oh, he's intercepted again. It's Richardson's 3rd of the game. Picked up by Caden Stearns. And he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaunt, getting set for quarter number 3 here. A 10-point game, 17-7 the score as we get back to it on EA Sports. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And he returns this to the 22. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they trail here to begin the second half. What's going to be a key for them to get back in the game?
I think they're right there, and I think this game is still up for the taking for them because we always talk about turnovers. They had 2 of them in the first half, and once you start talking about if you have 3, 4, or 5, you know it's beyond difficult to try and win a football game with that. Those have to be eliminated. If they take care of the ball, they've still got a shot.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Richardson looking to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they are going to take possession of the football inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. So it's kind of more of the same offensively. This was a team needing to come out of this third quarter with a little fire. Instead, they put the ball on the ground.
And you know that has to be the discussion at halftime because they're down 2 scores. We got to come out with a little bit more urgency than we had in the first half. Now that
urgency falls on their defense because they can't fall down 3 scores. Hope to come back and win this game.
And the Broncos are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Williams will take it in. Touchdown, Denver. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Extra point by York is up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
At their own 26-yard line.
Let's go
The
now.
Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions. Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Richardson looking to throw this. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. York on now for the extra point. And the lead is now 24.
Makes the score Broncos 31, Colts 7.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
On the ready.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. Well, this has been a tough one for them, Charles. They've struggled really on both sides of the football. And one thing that's really plagued them, the turnovers. They've had issues keeping the football in their possession.
And every game that's ever been played, all coaches talk about taking care of the football and limiting turnovers. And in this one, after we saw that first turnover, we worried that things would snowball, and it certainly did, especially on the scoreboard.
18, Pioneers. Ready.
On 1st down, Richardson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Ready.
Richardson. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, they certainly aren't letting up today, partner, because they've forced big turnovers already, and it's been incredibly tough for them to get yards against, let alone put points up on the board.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Richardson. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Well, the passing windows are just not there. That's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
The Colts send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They're just looking for more of the same. Great first half so far, good second half. And you know, sometimes I guess maybe, Charles, these coaches, they don't have to tell these guys much when they're rolling like they're rolling right now.
You're exactly right. I've heard stories of some of the best coaches in our time or any time having grabbed their staffs at halftime and said, guys, they're playing really well. Don't go in there and give them a whole lot of stuff. Just pat them on the back. And essentially the speech at halftime is, let's go, guys. And that's it.
Yeah, no one's upset the apple cart so far. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now a give up the middle to Williams. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They stick to the ground game on 1st down. It's Williams.
Yeah, maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left.
And he's going to handle it on the touch pass. A nice play design there with the touch pass. Looked good at the start, but bottom line, the defense was ready.
And they did a nice job scouting, didn't they? Not just scouting, but now executing once they saw the play for real after having worked on it all week in practice. They drilled on the play, then they drilled him.
Now it's Wilson.
This one swung out to Williams.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That'll give him 8 that time, and 3rd and 1 now.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
On 3rd down, it's Cochran. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th.
Cade York on now for the field goal.
This one from 35 yards away.
York able to send this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further.
I got to think at this point, 3rd quarter, if you're able to hold on to the ball, get 3 at the end, that's all you're looking for.
I would agree with that because right now, this is a job well done by them. In fact, it's almost time for handshakes, a little dap on the sidelines, maybe even start to discuss post-game plans. And for the guys who haven't played yet, go ahead and get loose. Your time is now.
1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here, maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. Third down now. Those last two plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked off by Drew Sanders. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his 2nd interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me, because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Now a 10th carry. Here's Williams. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Play action. Now Wilson. That's complete to Williams out of the backfield. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks.
Now Wilson. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
When you have someone throwing it that well, that confidently, you don't have to call the game in fear at all, do you? You just go ahead and play.
Yep, confidence with a lead to throw it here in the 4th, and boom, he's on the money. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Denver.
Javonte Williams
with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Broncos extend this 4th quarter lead, and they are getting closer and closer to win number 11. Extra point by York is up and good.
And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead.
York ready, and here we go as he sends this one away. From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line.
At their own 16-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go.
Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the...
It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Indianapolis.
Alec Pierce, 84 yards. And the Colts get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this 4th quarter deficit.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And the lead drops from 34 down to 27. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. Unable to corral him. He fights through. And he's probably realizing he should have stayed in the end zone as he can only muster a return to the 14-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. But not that any of the points would be needed, but CD, they've got enough time left here. They could definitely score on this drive, maybe even an ensuing drive as well, if they really want to drive home this landslide victory.
Yeah, we're certainly about to see just how aggressive they want to be here down the stretch. And what some coaches do is they try and meet it halfway, meaning they want to continue to run their offense, but they'll put in a lot of backups to do it, and then tell the opposing coach, hey, I had to get...
That's into a crowd and intercepted. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line.
The Colts take over first and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Here we go. Start.
They go play action with Richardson. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. The wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense, they're just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Here's Richardson to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That's good for an Indianapolis first down on a gain of 10.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
1st and 10, it's Richardson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. 13 yards down to the 13. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Yeah, Richardson back to throw it. Man on the outside. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it'll be second down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The Colts on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 7. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Colts in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Now, a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down. 4th down, desperation time. Here's Richardson. Eluding the pressure right. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Broncos will take over on downs. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And this team continues to stake its claim as Super Bowl favorites. They are now eyeing an 8th straight win as they begin this drive here in the 4th quarter. And they finally are able to take him down at the opposite 47. 86 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
It's another first down as this time they get an even 20. Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the fourth.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 22. They stay on the ground. This time it's Williams. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. Third down and 6. Throwing is Wilson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Colts are going to have it here at their own 15.
Let's go now.
First and 10 at their own 15-yard line.
One last shot for Richardson. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. And as this defense walks off the field, they can do so with their heads held high. What a performance. Well, by the offense, too. I mean, really, Charles, just complete domination on both sides of the football here in this one.
Certainly was, and I think both sides compete against each other all the time. You go at each other in practice, obviously your training camps, your off-season. But on game day, you both want to show your best. And I think that's what we saw from both the offense and the defense, a complete team victory.
So for the Broncos, they conclude the regular season with a final record of 11-6. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they finish up the regular season with a mark of 12-5. And they'll get their shot at playoff football as they'll be on the road next week as a wild card. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.